Hold on, dude. You ain't saying nothing. Big guns. Is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Before we get into the stream, if you want to game with your boy every day, you want to join a great Nintendo Switch gaming community, become a sponsor, patreon.com/Obi1Plays, like Doctor, and every new sponsor, we're doing it again. Every new sponsor is going to be getting a free $5 digital code for every new sponsor. What's going on, dudes? All right. Y'all see the title of the video. Let's talk about it. Let's go into it. The Nintendo Switch. Portability versus power. Was it worth it? Now, we know the Switch, wildly successful, great system. It's selling like crazy, but it does come at a cost. Multi-platform games that launch on the Switch will not, for the most part, be on par with its console counterparts, namely the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, yada yada yada, so forth. And so, I've said this a million times. I'm not real big on graphics. Oh, the game has to look the most beautiful, even though I'm appreciating 4K assets now since my X, and now that PlayStation 4 Pro is coming, I am appreciating the 4K assets. But gameplay is sort of where I draw the line in the sand. I don't care if the game may not look as good, but the game has to at least perform, or the gameplay has to be spot on. Gameplay has always been king for me. What's up, Rosalina? You're the first one there. They're coming. All right. I say that because games like Dark Souls Remastered, I'm hearing that it's going to be 1080p, 30 frames per second on the Switch, but on the other consoles, I hear it's going to be 60 frames per second. Somebody can correct me on that. I'm hearing that the Xbox One X, PlayStation 4 Pro will be running at 4K 60 frames per second. So, is it worth it? That portability, being able to play your Switch anywhere, at the park, on the beach, anywhere. Was it worth having less horsepower and quality for your games? Another example, Rocket League, perfect example. In Rocket League, you choose either between 1080p or 30 frames per second. What's up, Mac Main? You choose between either 1080p or 60 frames per second. There's two different options. You can't have both on the Switch version, whereas the other versions, 1080p, 60 frames per second. Final example, because this is the game I just picked up on. Not everyone got the notification. I could tell I'm a star. But the final example is NBA 2K18. Why did I bring that up? NBA 2K18 on the Switch, great port. One of the best actual ports. Why is my son running around with no shirt on? Go put on your shirt, boy.
It's too hot.
Okay, all right, go that way. Yeah?
I don't want my legs.
Okay, that's fine. Put it up. He said, okay, go that way. That's my son. All right. And so, Slim Boy Gamer said, add me on PlayStation Slim. Become the newest sponsor. You get a free $5 digital code, and I add you on the PlayStation, on the PSN. I've been gaming more on my PlayStation. I have to say this. Ideal Utopia would have been play all my games on the same system. But it's almost like Nintendo is sort of forcing us to pick up a secondary console. Back to NBA 2K18. Love NBA 2K18. Great Switch port until I played the other versions. And I see there is a difference. Particularly the graphics, yeah, that's the first thing you see. You see that it's cleaner on the other systems. But the gameplay again. Some of the shots are very time sensitive, like shooting your 3-pointers and all that. And I do see where having the game running at 60 frames per second actually improves the gameplay with your shot percentage and making shots. And so comes at a cost. It comes at a cost when you don't have the game optimized for your platform. Now, I say this. Nintendo's first party games, Mario Tennis Aces, hype for the game, probably going to be running at 60 frames per second. Super Mario Odyssey ran at 60 frames per second. And so Nintendo's first party IPs, they have for the most part been optimized for the Switch. But it goes back to third party games. The third-party games. Another downfall is Dark Souls has been delayed, and I think that delay has something to do with the Switch is a completely different architecture. I'm not sure what engine, if it's Unreal Engine or whatnot, but as far as chipset, completely different than PlayStation 4, Xbox One, so it takes developers also more time to adjust the game for the system. Dark Souls is one of the games that's been delayed, but I don't believe it's going to be the last. Dragon Quest 11. I can now play it on my PlayStation 4. Oh my goodness, I just had an epiphany. But Dragon Quest 11, another game that we're getting the PlayStation 4 version before the Nintendo Switch version, and Square Enix specifically stated that it's going to take more time for them to adjust the game for the Switch. And so I ask, was it worth it? I see Crisco. I tried to watch it and it said it's not available. Yeah, Timothy. I guess one of the commercials I played in that PlayStation Vita video, some random Taiwanese company claimed it, bro. That's why you can see I sort of went to my smaller screen. YouTube, bro. Some random company. I guess I used that commercial. Wasn't supposed to use that commercial in that video. What was I gonna say? Coming at a price. Let me read what Crisco is saying. 100% worth it. Not saying I don't want primetime graphics, but I travel a lot. Besides, if I didn't have an Xbox One or PlayStation 4 before the Switch came out, you weren't a gamer. Now I have to say this, and that's sort of my point, Crisco. Nintendo's almost forcing us to also have a secondary console for multi-platform games. Don't get me wrong. Games like Mario Tennis Aces, picking that up day one. But for other games, Rocket League, Dark Souls, are you going to need a secondary console to get the optimal experience? ASAP says, I didn't purchase my Switch for third party. There are other consoles for those games. I got my Switch for that Nintendo greatness. And I agree, ASAP. I got my Switch first and foremost because of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Once I see that Zelda, that was more than enough. And so I'm cool with the portability because I knew that was Nintendo's best bet to sell a lot of units so that they could keep making more games, more first-party games. But it does come at a cost. I say this again. With Nintendo going the portable route, they're still holding their own. I still bring up the latest VG charts numbers. PlayStation 4 still winning globally. Switch, a close second. Xbox struggling in third. But Nintendo gambling and betting on portability has paid off for the company, even though it's been at the sacrifice of games. Now, $1 million question. I ask you dudes on Twitter. On Twitter, are you following me on Twitter? Let me refresh this page. See if or does it automatically? Yeah. Okay. Make sure you're also following me on Twitter. Obi-Wan Plays at Obi-Wan Plays. That's my Twitter handle. But I asked on Twitter, which I just did this poll a couple of minutes, an hour ago. Which Nintendo console would you prefer? Portable Nintendo or powerful Nintendo? And pretty close, but most of you guys said you prefer. Oh, my dude Broken, one of the sponsors, got a number one, a win in Fortnite. Good stuff, Broken. Good stuff. Most of you guys, when I did the poll on Twitter, said you prefer a powerful Nintendo. I tell you this, if Nintendo came out with a console that was on par graphically with the other systems, had a great online infrastructure, achievements, I wouldn't be playing on the other systems. But that's not the reality we live in. Nintendo has said that they are no longer going to be competing directly with Sony and Microsoft. I didn't say that. Nintendo said that. And so that's why I've been multi-platform gaming. I have to say this. I buy every console every generation regardless. So I probably would have been. But Nintendo would have definitely been my main only primary console. But let me see what a couple of you guys are saying in the main chat. I'm going to also hop into the sponsor chat in a second, talk to some of the sponsors. Mac Main, whenever people make fun of me owning a Switch, I just destroy them with facts. I don't know why they just can't accept the fact that Nintendo can be for kids and adults. They don't see that they've changed. Now, I tell you this, I'm not arguing the whole kid or adults thing. And we don't have to necessarily equate portability with kids' power with adults, because you got a lot of adults that just like the convenience. I could imagine in college where you don't have to worry about a TV, you could just use your Switch as your gaming. That would be convenient for college students. And so it's not necessarily a kid-adult thing. It's what is your preference as a gamer. Quantum is saying Nintendo made the right move with the hybrid design. That decision made the system unique enough to appeal to everyone. I have to say this, that's cool. And I say this, my example. Just after a full first year with the Switch, I have to say the overwhelming majority of my gaming has been docked console on my TV. And so at this point, I would have picked power over portability, just so that make sure we have consistent games, no delays. Our games not just look as good, but run as good. And that's my pet peeve right now. The game's not running as good. Bro, I said this before. I'm saying it again. We're going to be in June. It's going to be summertime before we get our first big AAA game on the Switch. Kirby, in my opinion, that's all we've gotten all year, and that's not a big AAA game, in my opinion. So, just think, if Sony or Microsoft went a whole half a year with no big games, there'll be riots in the streets. But that's all we've gotten so far for this year on Nintendo is Kirby. Shadow Hylian says, yo, Obi-Wan, just hope that isn't a permanent future sell for Nintendo. I hope they won't just stick to handhelds now. Yeah. I have to say this, part of me, just because I was there during the NES days, the Super Nintendo days, when Nintendo was competing directly. On the Super Nintendo, one of the things why I say that the Super Nintendo is one of the greatest consoles of all time, we had the best first-party Nintendo games, and we had the best third-party games, which is not the case today. All right, so I'm gonna just say what's up real quick. I gotta actually head out, but what's up, AJ? What's up, Damien? Just wanted to say what's up, dudes. I'm gonna be coming. I'm gonna be back on later tonight, but I have to head out. But I just wanted to come in and say what's up, dudes.
Okay, cool. You have a good one, man.
All right, dudes.
See you later.
All right. All right, now, Broken by Destiny, one of the sponsors says, I say power to Nintendo next console needs to be about power. All right, dudes. That's going to be it. Short stream. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. The second half of 2018 better be as good as GameStop says it will be. I know, MacMain. They need to bring it out. Nintendo need to turn it around, bro. They put me on my PlayStation grind, bro. But I'm loving the PlayStation. I'm hyped. God of War comes out in 2 days, and I got the PlayStation Pro God of War Edition. Come on, bro. I'm good. I expected huge E3 from Nintendo due to lack of games this year, and they said they wanted to sell 20 million this year. Emerald Star, I hope so. I hope they turn it around. All right, dudes. Short stream. Just wanted to share my thoughts, share the results. Most of you dudes are saying you want a powerful Nintendo. Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things gaming, bro. That Switch, my son got my Switch. Even though they have their own Switch, they still get on my Switch.